Yeah, let's use Mine Train for example. It always starts, everything we do as an actor, it always starts with story, right? And you hear us say that, and it really, really is true. So even the ride system, usually we'll start with the story. Well, we went to the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but maybe we want to focus more on the dwarves this time, right? Maybe that's the adventure we want to tell, because it's a little more playful, a little bit, it's a little more gender neutral, right? It's something for boys and girls. Even though we'll have snow and maybe the witch make an appearance, we start with that, and then we start to look at, well, what's the story thread, and then we start talking about, well, what kind of ride system maybe is the best system to marry with that idea, the best way to convey that idea. You think about the Little Mermaid, we went with very traditional, the little clamshells, because that system's kind of a slow movie, really lets you celebrate those iconic moments in the music. With the Mine Train, it's really about a fun little way to roll through the woods and go into the mines and drop out, and so it seems, oh well, maybe a coaster is the best conveyance system for that story. So we don't always start with the conveyance system and marry a story to it, although that's sometimes different too. It just really depends on, once again, the story drives even the type of ride it's going to be. And then the characters, when you really start to get into the development of the characters, it's lots of models, lots of artwork, lots of mock-ups. You asked a question about the size of the dwarf. Out in front of my office in California, there's probably, I think Dopey's been drawn 10 times. There's like 10 different versions of him. And we just, we look at with technology, we go into 3D environments, we look at them in staging, in a 3D world to understand relationships. How high am I in the vehicle? How high they are in the set? Do we want to use force perspective here? Are the worlds all the same size? Or are they doing force perspective them down depending on where they're at within that scene? So we use a lot of the tricks of the trade and Imagineers to really bring those scenes to life and make them magical in a lot of different ways.
So on the engineering team, what do they do to prepare, to get into the character? Is there any special techniques that they...
I mean, we have great relationships with feature animation, especially for this project. And, many times we went over to feature and sat with the original animators, sat with the artists, and looked at the original drawings, looked at the background plates, and really to capture the spirit of what we wanted those characters, who we wanted those characters to be, or maybe what that environment really wants to look like. What's the color palette that we want to use in that environment? So those, during development, we spend a lot of time researching, really, and internally too, brainstorming and sketching and developing and pinning things on walls and looking. Things fall out and come and go, and all those things kind of lead to the development of a scene and get everyone sort of in that mood to really understand who that character is.
Who's your favorite character?
My favorite character? Overall?
Overall.
Wow. Hades is one of my favorite, right? I just love James Woods, and I thought he was such a brilliant character in that film. I love Miko from Pocahontas. I thought he was such a just beautifully drawn and animated. So both of those, that's kind of the extreme, a big villain like Hades and then a little like raccoon like Miko, but they're very charming. I can say I have been approached already by our decor team within Walt Disney World to start talking about maybe next year for the holidays, and maybe do some special things throughout the land. But for right now, we thought, even though it's Christmas time, we kind of thought it's brand new, and maybe we should just celebrate, the new opening of it, and then maybe next year we'll look at adding some more special magic to that area. So yeah, I would say most likely.